And I mean, hopefully Maru has a bit of a fold button. I have been getting away with a lot of bluffs today. Hopefully it keeps up. And, we're looking to apply pressure to things like jacks, things like kings, basically anything that is not a slow play. Ladies and gents, how you doing, guys? The game plan is to play some cash games today. Now, typically, I start my streams a little bit later in the day because that's kind of prime time for getting more cash game action. I feel like my volume might be a little bit low, but I'm not actually 100% sure about that. Guys, feel free to let me know how the volume is. I'm going to slide this over here, by the way. So I flatted pre-flop. HC Gommel raise, I flat on the button. Small blind decides to come along too. HC Gommel actually starts off with a pretty big bet, which on this texture is like probably okay-ish. And then he checks to me now on the turn, and I'm not going to be checking this one back. I don't have many ace-kings. I'm going to bet them when I have them. Sizing-wise, I don't know, like, it seems okay. So 42.50 here just kind of sets up for a river shove nicely. My range that I'm repping is not terribly thin. I don't think there's any reason to just go small. And then, so yeah, it was a pot size bet on turn. It's going to be slightly more than pot here, 140-ish into 127. And, I mean, tossing in the stack for the first time today. Let's see how it goes. No snap call, no snap fold. How many queen jack 10s has he given me here? All right, we're breaking into the time bank. Goes for the call, and we're good. Oh, even holding a jack. Wow, no respect. No respect there. All right, guys, that is $200 in my direction. Love to see it. I'm going to say it's borderline the worst hand we're going to have there. Depends on how you value it against an ace-5. Ace-5 is cool. Ace-5 gets to make straights. But, I mean, obviously, if you put them head-to-head, the ace-8 does have the better kicker. Okay, so I've gone ahead and defended my blind here. And, oh, that is... well, that's kind of fun. I am going to go the fun strats here, which are the bet big ones, trying to represent the flush, utilize this nice jack over here. Now I hit a pair of jacks, and that gives me, I don't know, a little bit of value, but honestly, not that much. So I'm just going to follow through again. And we're going to go for another overbet. We don't need to do like all in or anything here, right? We could just do this. This is just kind of fine. I mean, we'll still get called by some like pair plus clubs, maybe some like 2-pair set type stuff. He can have pocket aces. I'd prefer if he didn't, because he's gonna call pocket aces. Ideally, we get a few folds out of him here. And there we go, we do. Okay, so the fact that we connect with the jack on the river there, so like it does a couple things. One thing it does is, it very clearly gives me a pair of jacks, which means if villain has worse than a pair of jacks and it just goes to showdown, I just get to win. After he checks back flop and calls an overbet on the turn, how likely is he to have one of those hands? And the answer is, I don't know, he'll have them a bit. He could have like a 10-9 offsuit for a flopped mid pair, like with a club. That's a very reasonable thing for him to have and call with. Don't really want to see a 3-bet. Want to see, a call or a fold. We get the fold, or no, we get the call. And okay, so this is a board that kind of sucks for me. It's a board that Big Blind connects with really well. I don't do all that well, so I'm actually going to be checking back a ton on it, and I'm going to be taking the check back with this 6-5. So there's now 4 to a wheel on the board, which means, ace deuce 3 4 5 has a straight. You got a straight with a 6 also. Because I don't think I'm actually going to have many 6s here, and he bet like a reasonably large size, I'm just going to go for call, and we're just going to let him fire off on the river. The 4 paired, And he just goes double. Okay, so a few things I got going on for me. One, I don't have the bottom end of the straight. I don't have the nut straight. The nut straight is 6-7. He shouldn't really have many 6-7s. He should be 3-betting a lot of his 6-7 suits. He should be folding a lot of 6-7 offsuits, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. In addition to that, I have a pair of 5s, which means I block full houses, so it's less likely he has pocket 5s. I don't think there's... Yeah, I'm not blocking 5-4 offsuit because he's not going to have that, but this is just a super easy call. And he's got the Jack-9 for the double pot bluff. And that was a bit of a... I don't know, that was a bit of a slow call on my part. I should have frankly just like flicked in the chips immediately, but I mean, I had something to talk about. All right, there we go, being dealt back in. King 10 in the big blind is awesome and is getting a 3-bet up against Mucha here. You would think I knew how Mucha plays. Like, I've played with Mucha so much, but just I gotta check that like every once in a while against him. Okay, so we get called ace jack a flop, toss out a small bet. Great board for me. Everything's nice. The 9 comes in, and I mean, this is kind of okay. Can he have a queen 10? Yes, absolutely. Can he hit the occasional 2-pair with that? Absolutely. But I still think I have an okay hand. So I'm going to keep on firing. I have the 10, which means I have an open ender now instead of just the gutter on the flop. And when I hold no hearts here, this is just a triple. Going all in on the river here every time. 58.50 into 83. Let's go. And ideally, not getting snap called. Sweet. Okay, so far, fingers crossed, so far, bluffs are getting through today. Now, all right, I'm in another 3-bet pot here against Japarok. He 3-bet me pre, I called, and the flop went check, check. I could have stabbed on flop, like that's a thing. Now we have like 9s with the club here. Seems like a pretty easy peel. I don't really see what shoving does for us. So let's just do this. And then if he shoves on me, like, I'm calling at least sometimes. There's absolutely no way this is 100% fold. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. So I mean, here's the thing. We have a bluff catcher. You know, in theory, I'm going to lose this quite often, but you know, hey, we're getting pot odds. We need to call 48 to win 124, so it's not going to be the worst spot for us. And yeah, I think this is a worthwhile call. Pick off the ace-10 bluff. Love to see it. I wonder what he was planning to do on the flop there. So like he checked me on the flop. He had the ace-10, which is, you know, 1 overcard, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. You know, has a few opportunities, but he just decided to go check it. If I went for the stab, was he going to check raise me? That would have been a very uncomfortable spot, to be honest. I don't think it would have been an amazing check raise hand for him, but I mean, like, what are the alternatives? He could go for check call. He could go for, I mean, just a straight up fold. My bet probably would have been like roughly 1/3 pot. So yeah, I don't know. That would have been an annoying spot for him. You know, I think I'm going to check this one. I'm also going to slide us over to the spot where I have a bit of a combo draw. Ace-9 of spades, flush draw, open ender, and I'm betting double pot into downer, setting up for a river shove often. And I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and take it. Having the spades here kind of sucks, but I think having a 9, like blocking the literal only ways he can have a straight, is actually kind of cool. So we're just going to go for the all-in. Get the snap fold. The bluffs, they keep getting through. Today is a good day. I mean, really, if I want more, like, I can just join more snap tables and we'll just play like 1,000 hands an hour, but I don't think I need that much right now. Jack 10 in the big blind. Call is pretty standard. Every once in a while, you're going to want to toss in the 3-bet. I'm going to go for the call. And that's a gutter. So that's not bad at all. Let's see what Cherry decides to do here. Well, he's thinking about it for a moment. He elects to go for the bigger bet. So when he goes for the bigger bet, we're still going to check raise this a bit. And actually, hold on. Let me just pull this up here. We're still gonna check raise a bit, but it's going to be less often when he's going for bigger bets. If he goes for small, we check raise a ton. If he goes for big, we do have to be, a little bit more respectful of the fact that, hey, he probably has some nice hands. And so now this is double gutter. A king or a 9 has me loving life. But on this turn, Cherry potentially just goes really big, and that's rough. So let's see what happens here. Oh, he doesn't. Really? Okay, actually, in that case, I think this is going to be... Let's go for a little bit of a check raise here. So when he declines to overbet, I think I can freely check raise things like, ace 7, ace 8, maybe even stuff like queen 8 here that didn't go for the raise on the flop, plus, a few draws like this one. He goes for the call, the jack comes in, we're following through on this one. Connecting with the pair is no reason to stop, I don't think. And it's a pot-sized bet, and that's just happening. So when this comes in, my range is going to change a little bit. I'm no longer going to be value jamming something like, ace 7, but I am going to hit a few straights, hit a few flushes, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And surely Cherry will fold once in a while. The bluffs keep getting through. Cherry, you're never supposed to fold to me, right? Oh, I am so glad I'm not down like $1,000 right now from all these, from all the big bluffs. Ooh, okay, so I'm actually in a 4-bet pot. Downer went for the raise, I went for the 3-bet, he 4-bet, I called, and then we get this monotone board. He actually checks back flop, which, yeah, this is a pretty dangerous board. You might not want to stab everything on it. I'm going to go for a second check here. This is a bit tough. I certainly have some crummier hands to bluff, but there is the allure here with something like pocket 9s. I could bet and I could get pocket queens, no club to fold, pocket jacks, no club to fold. Like, that's a fairly great result. And once the last club comes in, I'm just gonna kind of happily bet, I don't know, maybe like a quarter pot here, and just really apply some pressure to his non-flush hands. Because, my flush is pretty low. I don't particularly want him calling with flushes. I don't think he has many flushes when he goes for the check back line there. So I want to get called by non-flush hands, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a look in the hand histories. In fact, he did call with the ace king, no club. So, success. We put in, literally nothing when I was behind. We got a little bit of value out of it when I was ahead. No complaints. So a small blind with the 50 BB stack just goes for the fold. Downer in the big blind, we're 130 bigs effective. Action is on him. He elects to go for the call, so I'm going to go for the big bet strategy on this board, which means lots of overbets and lots of checks. Pocket 10s, I think, is very clearly going to go into the check range. I kind of flip back and forth between what strategy I want to use on this board. Like, the big bet strategy is the good one. Like, there's no argument about that. The big bet and check strategy is better than the just kind of small bet every time strategy. But against certain players, I'll just bet small all the time. Against certain players, I'll just, bet big or check all the time. And against Downer, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily have a preference. But we'll see. He's thinking about tossing in a river bet. If he checks to me, seems just like an easy check. When he goes like that, I actually got to click call here with 10s once in a while. That's just kind of fine. 10s with a heart, yeah, let's go ahead and click this. And we're looking to catch bluffs from like 9-7 and stuff like that. I'm hoping when he takes this size, he's not barreling just like too many random aces, because that'll eat into my profits. But this seems cool, and he's bluffing with pocket 7s. We're good. Button folds, so we got position. Really don't want to see the raise though. I'm happy with fold, I'm happy with call, don't want to see the raise, though frankly if he raises, we can still potentially see a flop. And he goes to 24, in which case, we'll see a flop. Okay, one of the worst pairs possible, up against Maru over here, click and call, seeing a flop. Flopping pretty poorly, honestly. Two queens and a jack on board. That's going to be fairly nice for him. Expect a lot of bets. Here's the thing. When he bets a size like this, he's betting roughly 1/4 pot. I'm just click and call. I have a pair. What's not to love? And then, every once in a while he checks to me on the turn, at which point I start bluffing my ass off. If he continues this with a bet, then, I think my hands are a little bit tied. Yeah, dangerous board here. Okay, hold on. Sizing-wise, I don't know. Sizing-wise, I like half pots here. I'm also gonna just slide us over here where I have a set that's getting check raised. And we're actually gonna push this one a little bit higher. He goes for the insta-fold. I did get called here when I bet the turn. And so we're 127 effective into 146. This is a 100% bluff, not close. And hopefully Maru has a bit of a fold button. I have been getting away with a lot of bluffs today. Hopefully it keeps up. And we're looking to apply pressure to things like jacks, things like kings, basically anything that is not a slow play. And it's always nice to dodge the snap call. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, but so far so good, and the bluff gets through. Okay, chat, hold on. Can you remind me, guys, have any of my big bluffs gotten called today? Because if they haven't, this is very, very unusual. Man, I'm so used to Twitch, because on Twitch, everybody has usernames, right? And, there are rarely pronunciation issues, but, streaming on YouTube, there's so many people on YouTube who are just, on real name mode. And, man, I do not know how to pronounce real names. Or somebody comes in and their name is just, a whole bunch of, Chinese or Korean or whatever characters, and I can't even try. I'm going to take check back ace-4 over here. Fine flop, hit a nice pair. Betting should be fine. I don't really know why he's betting small here. I think we probably raise a bunch of sevens, honestly. The 4, meh. I think I'll just go ahead and take the peel. We get the absolute bink on the river. Best possible card in the deck for me. Unless he has better. And then he does that. And okay, so he goes triple pot. This is at least a call. Seems kind of splashy. Okay, so I'm going for the jam here, which seems absolutely ridiculous. But I'm just kind of making the assumption he's not going for the block size on turn with a bunch of 2-pair plus. Just seems like a spot where you really want to go for bigger bets. So the big portion of his range that's actually going to be value there is just going to be something like a 4 that small bet the turn and improves on the river. And I have all those crushed with top kicker. I'll sit, but okay, no, I won't sit. Let's get out of there, and let's just go ahead and play these kings, shall we? Absolutely wonderful hand. We got the limp jams. Okay, all right, I'm ready. Pocket nines. Don't do it to me. All right, there we go, guys. That is $190. Pocket kings, holding, taking it down. That was this guy's last stand. He decides to get out of here. And looks like he's going to be quickly replaced with another player I don't recognize. I like seeing players I don't recognize. Quick peek at a pair of aces over here, hoping for a little action there too. But we'll focus on this one until I at least get raised or see a flop or something. So Ghost goes for the c-bet flop and then check turn. I'm just going to go check back. I think I only want one more street here. So we go for the check back. We're going to be bouncing across tables a little bit. I'm going to go to 48 here with 2 aces cut off against small blind. We're hoping he ships. Really, really hoping for that ship. And I did get a little bit of a value bet on the river here. It looks like Open Mind goes for the call. How dangerous are 10s? Honestly, not very dangerous. From these positions, 10-9, Jack-10, they should actually be folded a lot against 4 bets. Some people flat them, but if they do, they're just kind of bleeding a little bit of money. Worthy thing to mention with these 2 aces, I'm not blocking any ace-10 combos. I have the spade and the diamond, which is on board, so he can still very easily have the ace-10 of hearts, the ace-10 of clubs. He doesn't when he takes that line. We're clicking call, and we're doing very well against pocket eights. And guys, the stack keeps on growing. Okay, what do we got in front of us? 700, just short of 785 bucks. Love it. Pop this right here so you guys can read it. Guys, that is $667 in profit. We ran roughly at our EV for all-ins, you know, not too much sucking out, not, well, I guess either way. But yeah, guys, I mean, if that graph isn't beautiful, I don't know what is. Nice little afternoon session, made a little over 600 US dollars, hell yes. And okay, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Today is Friday. My next stream will probably be Sunday, so I hope to see you guys then. Have a good one.